In recent days, the world has found itself standing at the edge of an economic cliff, one that could trigger the largest global crisis since the pandemic. The trigger? A single executive order from the Oval Office. Donald Trump has reignited a trade war with China, but this time, it's not about tariffs or trade deficits. It's about dominance, technological, economic, and perhaps even military. Starting November 1st, the United States will impose 100% tariffs on nearly all Chinese imports, from smartphones to solar panels, electric vehicles to medical devices. Officially, the move is a response to Beijing's restrictions on rare earth mineral exports, but in reality, it's something much deeper, an open declaration of economic warfare. And just like that, the first shots of a new global confrontation have been fired. The spark. When Trump signed the order, his words were clear and cold. If China wants to play hard, we are ready. Those words echoed across the globe, and within hours, Asian markets began to collapse. Billions were wiped out overnight. In Beijing, alarm bells rang. China's Ministry of Commerce responded the very next morning, saying it would be forced to take countermeasures to protect its national interests and the stability of global supply chains. Behind closed doors, Chinese officials began preparing their counterattack. According to the South China Morning Post, Beijing is considering restrictions on the export of lithium, neodymium, praseodymium, and other rare earth elements, the essential building blocks of the modern world. These are the minerals that power everything, from Tesla's batteries to Apple's chips, from fighter jet engines to advanced satellites. And China controls over 90% of the world's processing capacity for them. For years, these minerals were seen as just another commodity, but now, for the first time in decades, Beijing is turning them into a weapon. Experts from the Financial Times warn that without Chinese rare earths, production at Tesla, Intel, Apple, TSMC, and Samsung could grind to a halt within months. Inside Washington, panic spread fast. A leaked report from the Department of Energy revealed that U.S. reserves of rare earth metals would last less than 7 months if China stopped exports. In other words, America's high-tech foundation could collapse overnight. But Trump doesn't seem afraid. According to his advisors, he believes this is America's moment, the chance to seize technological leadership from Beijing once and for all. The American Gambit. Bloomberg Economics reports that the White House is already rolling out a massive plan to redraw the global industrial map. Companies are being offered billions in incentives to move production out of China, to countries like India, Vietnam, and Mexico. According to Nikkei Asia, Chinese government think tanks have presented President Xi Jinping with 3 response scenarios. Scenario 1, financial retaliation, gradually selling off U.S. Treasury bonds. China holds more than $770 billion of America's debt, and even a slow sell-off could destabilize U.S. financial markets. Scenario 2, technological restrictions, banning the export of critical components for American military and aerospace industries. Scenario 3, strategic escalation, strengthening military presence in the South China Sea and conducting live-fire drills near Taiwan and Guam. In Washington, analysts at the Rand Corporation call this strategy a potential economic blitzkrieg, a multi-front assault combining financial, technological, and military pressure. The Pentagon has already responded by deploying additional ships to the Sea of Japan and intensifying satellite surveillance over Chinese bases. The mineral war. While politicians exchange threats, the real battleground lies underground. Lithium, cobalt, nickel, rare earths, the invisible veins of modern civilization. According to the Wall Street Journal, U.S. officials are terrified of how dependent America has become on China's mineral ecosystem. A single Chinese export ban could shut down factories, paralyze supply chains, and throw stock markets into chaos. Meanwhile, behind the walls of Zhongnanhai, Beijing's leadership compound, Xi Jinping's tone has hardened. According to Reuters insiders, during a secret meeting, Xi declared, "If they try to strangle us with the economy, we will show that we can strangle them with technology." Those words were met with thunderous approval among party and military elites. The new industrial frontier. The U.S. response was immediate. the administration announced a $400 billion national program for technological independence. It includes massive new chip plants in Arizona and Ohio, new rare metal extraction sites in Nevada, and the creation of a strategic lithium reserve. But there's a catch. According to CNBC, these projects will take 3 to 5 years to complete. Europe's panic. Across the Atlantic, European leaders are watching with growing fear. Germany's auto industry depends heavily on Chinese lithium and magnesium. If China shuts down exports, Europe could plunge into recession by spring, warns the German Automobile Manufacturers Association. Factories could close, energy prices could surge, and the EU's transition to electric mobility could collapse overnight. In Brussels, officials are holding emergency meetings to discuss strategic autonomy, a polite term for how to survive without China. Made in China, for China. Back in Beijing, the government has launched a new industrial doctrine, Made in China, for China. The slogan floods state television and social media. According to China Daily, the government has allocated 1 trillion yuan, about $140 billion, to boost national microelectronics, robotics, and rare metal refining industries. But Washington still holds powerful cards. Politico reports that Trump is considering a total ban on exports of dual-use technologies, including AI systems, quantum processors, and military-grade simulation platforms. China's economy is already slowing, hit by real estate collapse and shrinking exports. But America isn't invincible either. Former U.S. Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers told Fox Business, "We've started a war where there will be no winners, only survivors." Still, Trump is betting on American adaptability. The belief that the U.S. economy's flexibility and innovation can outlast China's centralized control. In contrast, Beijing is betting on endurance, on the loyalty of its people, the scale of its markets, and the alliances it's quietly building across the world. While Washington isolates Beijing, China is building bridges elsewhere. Its ties with Russia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Brazil are strengthening under the BRICS framework. Together, they are developing alternative payment systems and non-dollar trade routes. According to RTS Global Monitor, over 30 countries are now ready to use the yuan or ruble for energy trade, bypassing the US dollar entirely. For the first time in modern history, the dollar's global dominance is being challenged, not by ideology, but by necessity. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the world is changing faster than ever, and the next move in this global game could redefine everything we know.